After Butch Johnson was trying to take my job, our friendship kind of split, you know?
Oh, no, not my man trying to take the job. And the friendship
after we retired, the friendship came back.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Right.
But the guys seem to be okay with it. And, running back is that position now in the NFL where you need two guys, you need two producers there. And not just because of injuries, but because you put the pressure you put on the defense. They're two different type of running backs, so there's two different ways you have to prepare for them. Mm-hmm. And that's good for the offense. And so when they see Zeke coming in, they're thinking of one thing. Well, let's do something else. Let's surprise them with something different. Same thing with Pollard. So long as they get along and there's no issues between them, keep using them like you're using them.
This is what see, every guy that knows football that I've listened to said the same thing he said the same thing I said, saying the same thing Choppy said this morning. What is the issue here? What is the issue? The issue is one thing. Zeke makes $12 million. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but if you give Tony Pollard 25 carries or touches a game for the next 9 games, I promise you we'll be talking about another guy next year saying, hey, he's not the same guy. Well, remember you wanted him to have all these extra carries. Zeke did this for 4 years straight.
He did.
So people better understand the game. They better understand the game, what these two guys bring to this game. This guy had a chance to tote the ball this past game 25 times. They only gave it to him 14.
That's right.
Think.
Because that's what he is. That's what they want to do.
He's explosive.
They told us this past week what his role is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
There was no Zeke, and he still only got 14 carries.
Yeah.
He's never had more than, 17 in a game, even in college.
That's right.
And it doesn't mean that he can't do 20, 25 every now and then. It doesn't mean that you give him to him every time.
Yeah.
If you give him 25 carries a game like he's had for the next 9 games, you may never see the same guy again.
He's effective the way they use him.
Thank you.
And when he comes in, it's a surprise to the defense. And now they don't know where's he going to go, what's he going to do. And you got the receiving ability, the running ability. And when he hits that hole, I mean, he reminds me of Dorsett a lot. Because once Dorsett got in that hole, bam, he was gone.
He was gone.
All right? You got that little sliver of daylight. You know that daylight, that little daylight. And then he's gone.
54 yards to the house.
Everybody always trying to tell me about this. But one thing this offensive line did this week that I hadn't saw, they gave him the point of attack entrance. They gave him a cutback entrance. And they gave him that deep cutback. A lot of people can't get to that deep cutback. Amen. He came back one time when it was an 8-man front. Yeah. And he even fooled his safety because he went up into that point of attack and dropped all the way back, left that dude hanging. And so the offensive line really put it on this week, man. Go back. Yeah. All these people out here talk about when they call your show, hey, man, I look at the all 22. Are you really? Are you really?
Well, Nate, can't anybody watch all 22 like you watch all 22. You stay watching film.
I can watch it, but I don't know what I'm watching. Time, right?
You do know what you watch.
You can see where that hole is open and Tony Pollard running through for 54 yards.
It's nice to hear Nate explain that.
Yes.
Because we wide receiver, we don't care about all that.
He's like, look, I'm downfield blocking. I'm handling my business. I'm getting this cardio in.
3.5 seconds to get downfield. That's all I need.
But you do know a lot of openings in a zone.
Yeah,
you do got to get into the openings of a zone.
Man, if I got time, I'll find it.
Nate, I want to ask you before we go to break, how fun is it to block for running backs like Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard? We just celebrated the 20-year anniversary of Emmitt Smith breaking Walter Payton's all-time rushing record there at AT&T Stadium. How much fun is it to block for guys like that, knowing anytime they get the ball in their hands, there's potential to hit a home run like Pollard did?
It's just sweet, man. And the thing about it, you don't know when it's happening. Because as offensive lineman, you got a work mentality. You know, every time you looking at this dude who's athletically more gifted than you 9 times out of 10. So you just working. All of a sudden you hear the crowd,
Right.
And you know it ain't a pass. So you know something running for that out, man. And Emmitt used to come out of some things, man. Because we never knew Emmitt's speed. We never knew how elusive he was until we saw it on film.
Wow.
But we know about Tony Pollard. We know how devastating he is. We know that Zeke is a sludge hammer. So wow, it's a good feeling, man. Almost made me lose a pound right here, just gyrating around. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you.
Chop, what does that do to a confidence for a football team when you see Pollard running the way that he is, knowing that anytime he gets the ball in his hands, he could go for 60 and take it to the house?
It's just another weapon.
Yeah.
It's what it is. It's another guy you have. I mean, you can throw the ball to CD, or you go downfield to Gallup, or as we saw this week, which we haven't seen a lot in recent time, is Dak using his feet too. You know,
sweet,
using his legs in the running game.
Yeah,
And
man.
that's another weapon.
That's what Nate was wanting to see a little bit, a little
Pressure
on the
2016 Dak a little bit.
I mean,
Right.
the best 3rd and 4 on this team might be him, you know, just taking it and doing something with it, right?
Right.
So,
Wow.
it's just another bullet they've got, and that's what Pollard does that, and so does Zeke. I mean, like to me, Zeke's still the best 3rd and 1 guy you got.
Right.
So they're just loaded with weapons right now.
Hey, guys, I used to run that when I'm a quarterback at Tulsa. I used to run that RPO, you know, but I'd always give it to the back, okay?
He said, I'm going to take the option. Hand it to the
Tulsa,
back.
you didn't want to be carried that ball.
I see the DN crashing down. I'm going to go and hand it off.
Right.
Hand it off to the back.
That's sweet.
Amen.
This team is 6-2 in their bye week. We are live at the Cowboys Club at the Star in Frisco. Kevin Gray, RJ Choppy, 3-time Super Bowl champion Nate Newton, Pro Football Hall of Famer, the original 88 Drew Pearson in the house tonight. It is Cowboys Crosstalk presented by SWBC. Coming up next, we're going to talk about this defense. This defense is on a historic pace in sacking the quarterback. What's the ceiling of this defense for 2022? We'll talk about that next, live on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
SWBC Mortgage's Cowboys Crosstalk.
Yeah, check this out.
Broadcasting live from the Cowboys Club at the Star in Frisco.
Week 9 of the National Football League Cowboys Crosstalk presented by SWBC. At SWBC, customized solutions for individuals and businesses are just a click away. Visit SWBC.com to learn more and start your next adventure. Kevin Gray of 105 to the Fan. RJ Choppy of Sean and RJ on 105 to the Fan, which you can hear every single day, 5:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. And, of course, our 3-time Super Bowl champion, 6-time Pro Bowler Nate Newton joining me as always. And royalty, Dallas Cowboys style, the original number 88 Pro Football Hall of Famer class of 2021, Drew Pearson with us on this Wednesday evening here live at the Star in Frisco at the Cowboys Club. Gentlemen, I wanted you to think about this defense as we have this conversation now. A defense that's leading the NFL in sacks. Micah Parsons looking like Defensive Player of the Year early on this year. Choppy, how good has this defense been based on what you've seen and evaluated? Because I know you're diving into all the 22 when you're not watching your kids play baseball and whatnot. What have you seen on film with this defense so far this year?
It all starts up front. I mean, to me, everything is based right now with this team up the pass rush. They're getting to the quarterback. They're putting the quarterback back on their heels. They're allowing the secondary to make plays. They're allowing the other quarterback to make bad throws, which is causing turnovers, right? And they may not be getting the turnovers at the same rate they were last year. That was never going to happen.
Right.
You know, Diggs was never going to get 11 picks again. That's just like that's a career year, right?
Right.
So you couldn't expect that. So you needed the front to get to the quarterback, and they have. And you know, the only thing they can't do is stop the run. And in today's NFL, when nobody runs, I mean, okay, I'm fine with that. You know, it's not ideal. It's not ideal, but man, they're getting the quarterback, and they're if they're not touching him, they're at least getting him back on his heels, and that's making more difficult throws.
Nate, this is a team that is third in the NFL in points allowed at 16.6 points per game are the Dallas Cowboys.
Wow.
When you look at going forward for the rest of the year, to Choppy's point about the run defense, what do you see that has to get better for this run defense, at least to be average, so that they're not getting gashed the way that we've seen at times this season so far?
Well, the first thing that I want for our defense is for our offense, and I've asked from this from the first show we've done together, is I need for y'all to be at least even with time of possession. Our defense is averaging playing 32 minutes a game, and you wonder why our secondary is banged up.
And Chicago had 36 minutes on Sunday.
So
36.
You
Wow.
know, you have to. You got 9 games. You got 5 of them, I think, are road games. 3 things you got to take on the road. That's your run game. That's your defense. And you got to have tight special teams. So if this is the case, you got to find a way to at least even it up 30 minutes a game. If you get 32, imagine if our defense can play only 28 minutes a game. So
that allows Drew Pearson to score some more touchdowns every now and then.
So I know you asked me about the defense, but I'm telling you what can help with our defense. You'll see the turnovers pick up. You'll see that we'll be in more leads, and our defense is at its finest then. And then when it comes time to stop that run early in the game, or either late in the game, because Philadelphia closed out on us, we'll be fresh enough to do it.
Drew, what do you believe is the ceiling for this football team this year based on what you've seen and now going forward for the rest of the year and what the Cowboys can achieve possibly?
Well, you know, I'm not going to get on that bandwagon like a lot of Cowboys fans and, you know, talking about Super Bowl and stuff. You know, let's just take one game at a time and see where we are. Going through the NFC East now, it's the beast again. You know, it ain't
Seems
the least
that way,
anymore, right? So let's try to have that goal of winning the East, at least getting to the playoffs, and then reestablish ourselves once we get there and see if we have what it takes to make a run through the playoffs. We had a good team last year. You know, I was disappointed when we hit the playoffs, playing a home game. San Francisco, you're not up for that. You're not ready for that. That was a great opportunity for us to win that game, then maybe make a run, you know, through the rest of the playoffs. But this team just needs to take one game at a time. There's not too many veterans on this team, a lot of young guys.
A lot of young guys.
So let's keep them focused, you know, not looking too far ahead.
Choppy, this is an NFC East that's 23-8. Since the merger in 1970, this division has the highest win percentage through the first 8 weeks of the season at a 742 clip, and one of only 2 divisions currently, the AFC East and the NFC East, to have all 4 teams at least 500 or above. Did you see this coming in the NFC East with how good the Cowboys have been, the Giants, the Philadelphia Eagles, even Washington having won 3 games in a row? Did you see this coming at the beginning of the season?
Do you want me to lie to you?
I want you to tell me the truth, Chop. Tell me the
The
truth.
chopped truth.
I didn't see no. I saw the Cowboys running away with this thing. I didn't see the Eagles being 7-0.
Yeah.
I sure as you know what didn't see the Giants being at their record at 6-2, and I didn't even see Washington being a 500 team. I thought it was going to be the Cowboys, and then a gap, and then the Eagles, and then a bigger gap, and then those other two teams down at the bottom. I certainly did not see this. This is stunning. I still don't buy New York. I still don't. I'm not a fan of their quarterback. I think their coach has done a really nice job, but I'm waiting. I'm waiting for them to go on that 5-game
they won a lot
streak.
of games in very unusual ways, like going for 2 points and winning the game instead of tying and going overtime, last drive and all that. What was that, Jacksonville game where he throws an interception on the 1 yard line? You know, things like that. But you know, when you see that, Nate knows that you're like scared because is that a team of destiny?
Right.
Winning games like that, you know, through the course of a season.
Yes, sir.
So you got to be concerned about the Giants too, Chop.
Right.
Yeah, I get it. I just, like that, they had no business beating Baltimore. Baltimore was dominating that football game. They wound up winning. I can't see that team. I'm like, man, I just don't understand how they're doing it. I'm going to have to get past that because they seem to be here. Philadelphia is scary, though.
Yeah.
All right, they're scary. I love their quarterback. I think Jalen Hurts is tremendous.
He's getting better and better every game.
Yeah, I think he's criminally underrated. I think he's underrated as a passer. He's not underrated as a runner, but I think as a passer, he is massively underrated.
And they made a move, too, Chop. Brought in a defensive end.
Yeah, Robert
in the
Quinn.
trade.
Robert Quinn. Former Dallas Cowboy.
Quinn.
Our own guy.
Former Dallas Cowboy. That's right.
As a rotation player.
So,
He's going to be hype. He's going to be
not
hype.
satisfied. They're still making moves.
Nate, where does this Cowboys team fit in the NFC picture in your mind when you think about the Philadelphia Eagles, the New York Giants? Where does this Cowboys team fit with the Minnesota Vikings and all these teams at the top of the NFC?
You know, Kevin, and I'm being serious. Let's see. We have had 12 in this win, 11 this win, 10s this win,
13-3, 2016.
And all of a sudden, the first round, we all our ugly weaknesses come out.
Yeah.
Let's see. I want to see because I have never, in the last 10 years, have count Philly out. It's something about their GM and their management team that always seem to put a team together, and then they would at the end of the year, it's like they finna play 4 patsies, and they beat them all, and they end the playoffs.
Man, they made the playoffs last year in a rebuild.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, in a rebuild.
And so you didn't believe that they was gonna be good this year?
I did, but I thought
I don't think we saw 7-0 coming.
I wasn't expecting to get hurt.
I quit doubting them.
Yeah.
Because every year we doubt. Now, the Giants I talk bad about. The Washington, several names I would talk bad about.
Several names.
I like that.
But
the Washington,
Philly, I'm always scared of Philly. And, fellas, don't forget, they ended with maybe 10 or 11 straight run plays against us. They're like, we're going to put our stamp of approval on y'all.
Wow.
Yeah, they stay.
Yeah.
I remember that, man.
But Brown?
A.J. Brown?
Yeah, I didn't even know about this guy until,
He's been
He was hitting Tennessee.
Tennessee.
He was hitting Tennessee.
The Eagles saw something in him. I guess the rest of the league as well. But, man, this guy's a
player. 3 touchdowns on Sunday. He's been balling for Philly.
Makes a big difference then with the Devontae Smith there. So, and they got a good tight end. They got a little running game. They run that little option, that RPO, and especially around the goal line, they don't settle for field goals. They're getting in the end zone. And a lot of it is that pressure Hurts will put on the defense when they get into that. We call it the plus territory. You young guys call it the
red zone.
Red zone.
That's right. That's right.
Plus territory. And, he's a threat down there. And that means the rest of the offense is a threat in that kind of situation. And they're putting them touchdowns and not kicking field goals.
You got Jordan Davis, you got Fletcher Cox, you got Hargrave, and you got Brandon Graham. These dudes know how to play big boy.
Now you added Robert Quinn to that.
Yeah, they know how to play big boy football.
Yeah.
And so they got a deal now. We're going to beat you down in the first quarter. We're going to score a lot of points in the second quarter, and we're going to make you come get us.
Yeah.
Right.
That is what the Cowboys need to adapt going into the second
Yeah.
part of the season. That way our defense can stay fresh. And I'm going to ride that. I'm going to ride that, Drew.
Yeah.
If we don't keep our defense fresh, we ain't going nowhere.
I agree with that. You know, it's an advantage. You know, that way you get your best players out in the field, and they're not tired and you have a rotation and everything like that. So you keep your best players on the field if you're controlling third down, which will control the time of possession.
Drew, I want to ask you before we go to break here, because we feel like this Cowboys team has a chance to be special this year. When you played and understood what the assignment was for your teams, when did you know that a certain team was special, whether it be something in the locker room, something that happened in a game that you remember? When did you know that a particular team was special in a particular year?
You know, not to sound arrogant or anything, we always felt we were special.
Yeah.
Because when we hit training camp, Coach Landry let us know exactly what we had, all right? He always just said a reasonable goal, outstanding goal. But he would never set a goal that he didn't think our team could achieve.
Yes,
our
sir.
goal every year was to get to the playoff. I played in 7 NFC championship games.
Yeah. Right.
So, we came to play every year. So we didn't have that drop-off. Even when we went to Super Bowl, won that, we thought going into training camp would be a little easier and stuff. Yeah, we the champs. No, he worked us even harder. So we always had that goal to get to the Super Bowl. The reasonable goal was to make the playoffs, ways, means, and methods to accomplish that, and then you take those ways, means, and methods to the next goal, which is, of course, get to the playoff, but not just to get to the Super Bowl, but to win the Super Bowl. And 3-time Super Bowl champ, he knows better than me what it takes.
Coach Johnson was the same way.
Amen.
And he always looked at players, and I know Coach Landry looked at it saying, he didn't look at he always looked at what you could be. And so he drove you to what he think you should be.
What you believe your potential was,
hey, let's wait on this guy. No, if he believed in you, he put you in there and he let you go. Now, he didn't just turn you loose as a starter. You had to kind of work your way. It was always competition. This is the first time, or the second time, this is consecutive years that we have had real competitive guys checking one another.
Yeah, right on.
There's the accountability there,
that,
Right on.
We didn't have no. Hey, you the starter, DeMarcus Lawrence. You the starter, Dak. You this. No, you look at our defense line. We just got rid of decent defense linemen.
Yeah,
we just released a defense lineman. Been picked up like that because you can't flash, brother. You got to play down in and down out.
We are live at the Cowboys Club at the Star in Frisco. It is Cowboys Crosstalk, presented by SWBC. SWBC Mortgage joined the more than 120,000 customers that we've helped to find their happier way home. Visit SWBCmortgage.com to find a pro today. Coming up next here on Cowboys Crosstalk, the trade deadline passed yesterday. The Cowboys didn't necessarily make a move. Will the Cowboys regret not making a move at the trade deadline, or did they need to? We'll talk about it with our panel next here on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
Go Cowboys!
SWBC Mortgage's Cowboys Crosstalk.
Check this out.
Broadcasting live from the Cowboys Club at the Star in Frisco.
Live at the Cowboys Club at the Star in Frisco, it is Cowboys Crosstalk presented by SWBC PEO, helping to alleviate the HR administrative burden that comes with running a business. Leave the worrying to us. Visit SWBCPEO.com to find out more. I promise you, Nate will not answer the phone.
That's right. I won't, man.
He won't be answering the phone there. But he's going to be answering some questions here on Cowboys Crosstalk. Kevin Gray, 105 through the fan. RJ Choppy of the Sean and RJ Morning Show, 5:30 to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday on your home of the Cowboys. Our 3-time Super Bowl champion and 6-time Pro Bowler Nate Newton. And Pro Football Hall of Famer, class of 2021, the original number 88, Drew Pearson, here live on this Wednesday. It's the bye week for the Dallas Cowboys, who are at 6-2. Get a chance, a little bit of R&R, a little rest and relaxation for the Cowboys this week before they take on Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. The trade deadline came and went yesterday. The Cowboys deciding to stand pat, not necessarily making a move on a day where we saw 10 trades go down in the National Football League. Chop, I'm going to ask you, as you cover this team, talk about this team on a daily basis, are they going to regret not making a move at the trade deadline?
I don't know. They get Odell Beckham.
There's still an opportunity for that. He is still sitting out there in free agency.
You know, I don't think any team really, unless you don't have a quarterback and you need him. I don't know that how many teams are actually one player away anymore, right? Like, you either have a quarterback that can take you there or you don't. And I think this team does. And I don't think they're truly one. I think they're there. They're ready. You know, like a couple of breaks go their way. The NFC is as wide open as I've ever seen it. You don't have to go through Kansas City. You don't have to go through Buffalo. You don't have to worry about. You don't have to go through Lamar Jackson. All right. You don't have to worry about it. You just go through Philadelphia and San Francisco, and you've got the quarterback advantage in both of those games. So I'll take my chances. I don't think it's worth mortgaging the future. If they wanted to go and give up now would I have done a second-round pick for Chase Claypool? Yeah, I probably would have. That's the one that got away, right? Okay. He's making basically $2 million a year for this year and next year. That's free. That's a free player. I'm sorry, Drew. I know back in your day it's not. Like in today's NFL, that's a free player.
14-5.
That's a free player today. So it's like, you know, I maybe would have gone for him, but I think they're there. I think they're good enough.
Well, right on.
Nate?
I agree. Nate?
No,
I agree. I think they're good enough. They put themselves in a position, you know, to compete for that NFC East title and a playoff spot. So let's see if they can finish the deal. And, you know, they've been through adversity, lost their quarterback.
Yeah.
And still in this position.
Came out on the other
you
side
know,
of it,
other guys, like John Madden doesn't like to say, but other guys stepped up. He said, stepped up. Where they been? You know?
You don't need to step up if you've already been there.
You've already been there. So, you know, the other guys are played well during that stretch, and they got a lot of guys got experience, more experience. So, you know, they put themselves in a position to make this run. But the next 3 games are critical. 2 on the road, Green Bay, then Minnesota. Minnesota's pretty good, y'all.
Yeah.
All right.
6-1.
Then they go to Washington this week. And then they got the Giants at home. So this stretch coming up is going to be very critical for this team.
Nate, what concerns you most about what area, I would ask, concerns you most about this team as you start looking forward now?
I just believe this right here, that time of possession. Time of possession. We have to capture that because it's going to always come back to our defense. Your head coach said that it's a critical point, and I'm beating it. I'm just beating it. I don't want at the
you
end
believe in it.
Yeah, I don't want at the end of this year, you know, our guys are beat up because they're tired, you know, and they ran out of gas. And I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen to your Ravens, where their defense just was a little bit older. This is a young defense. I ain't worried about them running out of youthful gas, but just getting beat up, you know. So because this last team, 49 runs? They refused to stop running. Yeah. And that beat our team up. They need this. They need this bye. So one area I'm worried about, and then can the offensive line continue to stay physical? If the offensive line continue to stay physical, and they have some type of balance. But I do know, Drew, I do know, Choppy, it's going to come some games where you got to throw that rock.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so they're going to have
yeah.
to be better pass blockers in the second half, too. They have to be definitely better pass blockers.
The number is 2 with 2 passing touchdowns on Sunday. Dak Prescott now has 45 career multi-touchdown passing games, which moves him past Danny White for the 3rd most multi-touchdown games by a Cowboys quarterback. When you look at 4, Drew, when you look at Dak Prescott, what impresses you most about him and what he is going to have to do to help lead this football team if they are to go where they want to go, and that's to the Super Bowl this year?
I guess the number one thing is he's a winner. You know, he's got that winning attitude. Then you go from there to his leadership, and then you go from there to his athletic ability. You have all those 3 things going. You got a pretty good quarterback, you know, running your football team. So, you know, Dak just continue to improve, get better and better, and you know he will. You know how conscientious he is about his position and where he is. He knows exactly he's the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys and what all comes with that. And he embraces that. Most guys don't want on all that extra.
Yeah.
You know, they call it distractions. But Dak embraces that. And the guys on the team listen to him.
Yeah.
All right? They know he's a quality person. And when you got a guy like that leading your football team, you got a chance. What we got to do, like Nate said, protect them, keep them healthy. I think in situations where, you know, he might run the football, got to get down and stuff, you know, understand his value to the team, you know, and continue doing what he's doing. He got, you know, from sitting out all those weeks, and then he plays. You know, he played okay when
Against
the
Detroit,
game he came back against Detroit. But then the next game he got better. So he's going to continue to get better as he plays more and more.
Sean, we saw last year Matthew Stafford help a talented Los Angeles Rams team win a Super Bowl. Is Dak Prescott good enough, and this version of Dak Prescott good enough to help this team win a Super Bowl this season?
Oh, yeah, I think he is. I mean, look, the Rams won 3 playoff games by 9 points total. You got to win games like that.
Amen.
But, I mean, how much of, like, good fortune do you have to get to win 3 games by 9 points total? I mean, things got to go your way. They had to have a dropped interception in the NFC Championship game to even make the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So you've got to find ways to capitalize on those mistakes that the other team makes. But he's absolutely good enough to win the Super Bowl. There's a dozen quarterbacks or 15 quarterbacks in the league that you could say are good enough. That doesn't mean they're going to do it every year.
Sure.
There's probably 2 guys that are going to do it that are going to be in the running every year right now, and that's Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
And everybody else is going to be like, okay, well, let's have our career year. Let's have our defense step up that year, and we'll take our chances. But, yeah, there's no doubt that in any given year, Dak can lead this team to a title. I don't think there's any question about that.
Well, you think about some of these other teams and the quarterbacks they're counting on.
Yes.
Okay? How about the Joneses in New England and the Jets?
Yeah, Mac
You know,
Jones.
they're up
Mac,
and down.
yeah.
Trevor Lawrence is, you know, up and down. He
Yeah.
doesn't look like he's improving much. The quarterback we played against.
Josh Fields.
Yeah.
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields.
Josh
You know,
Fields. Why
Trey
did I say
Lance
Josh?
is hurt now,
That
but
Armstrong dude in,
you know,
in
I
Chicago
mean,
there, too.
we're lucky to have what we have at that position. When you look around, even quarterback in with the Giants, you know, he's
Daniel
up
Jones,
and down. Daniel Jones, and so look at the Redskins situation. You know, they play Carson Wentz. You know, I mean, you know, he couldn't start for my grandson's high school team.
Oh, snap. Not starting for your grandson's high school team. Yeah, that's not going to
And
cut
that's Frisco Emerson. I'm going to let just say.
Shout out to Frisco.
They're only 8-1. I'm just saying. In their first year of high school football. I'm just
Okay,
saying.
hey, well, go on and put it out there. Congratulations so far on the season.
Right on. But we're blessed to have Dak at quarterback. Let's ride him, put the people around him, keep surrounding him with the quality players so that we can take advantage of what we have there.
We're going to take our final break here on Cowboys Crosstalk, presented by SWBC. Kevin Gray, RJ Choppy, Nate Newton, our Cowboys legend, Pro Football Hall of Famer Drew Pearson. Coming up next, we're going to catch up with Drew Pearson, see what the original 88's been up to, and then we'll figure out what's going on with the rest of Week 9 in the NFL. We'll do that all next on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
Go Cowboys!
SWBC Mortgage's Cowboys Crosstalk.
Yeah, check this out.
Broadcasting live from the Cowboys Club at the Star in Frisco.
Live at the Cowboys Club at the Star in Frisco, the Cowboys Crosstalk live on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network presented by SWBC. Let's thank one of our proud partners, Liberty Tax, a proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys. Schedule an appointment today at libertytax.com/Cowboys. Kevin Gray, 105 through the fans. RJ Choppy, our three-time Super Bowl champion and six-time Pro Bowler Nate Newton, and Pro Football Hall of Famer class of 2021, the original 88 Drew Pearson in the house with us tonight during this bye week for the Dallas Cowboys. We want to thank Drew for his time and his presence on this evening. Let's catch up with the original 88. One of the more cool moments I thought of this season so far, it happened during, I believe, before the season started, maybe a little bit during the season, but you had a chance to sit down with your fellow 88 club members and CeeDee Lamb, Michael Irvin, and yourself. Take us through that moment, obviously sitting around eating, burrito bowls and burritos courtesy of Chipotle. Tell us about that meeting and that summit that the 88 Club had and how special that was for the three of you.
Yeah, that was really special because that's the first time.
Des Bryant, let me not forget about Des.
No. Des is a bad dude. He lived up to what the 88s are all about.
Let's not forget about Des.
They just didn't win when he was there, and that's not his fault. But anyway, it was the first time we all got together, the four of us. When Michael was anointed with that number, he said, Drew, they want me to wear the number. What do you think? I said, well, Michael, it's not my number. But if you do wear it, don't do what I did. Do more than that, So that's how we kept passing it on. And Des don't do what Michael did or Drew did. Do more than that. Now it's CeeDee's turn. But we had, it was great to get together and the fellowship, to talk. And to let CeeDee know what it means to be in this special club, the 88 Club, and what it means to wear that number. Now, CeeDee admitted it. He didn't want that number, okay? He admitted, but now that he's got it, I think he's embracing where he is with it and understands the history of it and is trying to live up to what it's all about. And so, but getting together, it was great. The best part, you come up with a 30 seconds or a minute commercial, but the best part was the outtakes and stuff, man. We had a ball. We had a blast there, just joking and having a good time and fellowshipping and all that. So it was good. It was nice.
One thing that's come with all the 88s, they got their money at the end of the commercial.
They made sure the check was cut at the end. Make sure it don't bounce either.
I know my 88.
More than I made my first 3 years in the league. All right? I'm just saying.
Look,
that's before taxes.
I feel you. I heard that greater comes later, and you got yours coming all the time.
We didn't make no money.
I do want to ask you before we get out of here on this evening, too, for those that don't know, what does it mean to be an 88? What is that singular characteristic or mindset that is becoming of all 88s in your mind?
Well, there's a lot of things. CeeDee showed with that one game he came across and dropped that pass, and then came back later in the game and made the plays to help us win the game. That's a big part of what the 88s are about. Mental toughness, having that heart, even if you have a mistake, use that to motivate you to come back out there on the field and try to do something to help the team win, to overcome that mistake. And then, just being a quality individual, a team player, and taking advantage of every opportunity that comes your way. But knowing when the game is on the line, you got to be the man.
Yeah.
All right? That's what it is. We didn't have no go-to receiver back in the day or number one receiver. When we broke the huddle, the defense didn't know if Tony Hill was going to be the number one or me or Butch. But in that final 2 minutes,
we knew who the ball was going to.
We knew where the ball was coming.
Yeah,
that's
and
right.
Michael Irvin was the same way with 88, and Dez the same way with the opportunities he had. But that's what CeeDee has to do, understand that, and I think he does. And, we told him, don't be messing up, okay? Don't mess up the 88 Club, all right?
Don't
we
sell
got
the
something
number
good
88.
going here.
Yeah.
Ain't too many guys in the league getting commercials at this age, So you guys got to keep carrying me, all right?
There you go. Nate, you obviously played with one of the 88s and Michael Irvin. For those that don't know, what made Michael special in that locker room?
Because he could talk to everybody. He had a connection with everybody. Offensive line, defensive line, quarterback, wide receivers, DBs. He could walk into anybody's huddle during the game and intricately be a part of it. He understood the game. He understood the people that he was dealing with, whether he was black, whether he was white, Hispanic, it didn't matter. A woman could have stepped in there and been playing, and Mike would have found a way to get into her mind and her heart. Yeah. That's Mike, man. He was Troy was the man. He stood back there. He did what he had to do. But when it came time to pull everybody together, that was the playmaker.
Amen.
Which is very interesting because you don't necessarily hear that a lot from wide receivers. And now to know that he had that kind of quality to be able to do so.
No, that's part of the 88 club.
Yeah, exactly. That's part of the 88 club,
I was captain. You know, that guy who pulled us together.
Yeah.
And I don't know what Dez's situation was. But, that's part of the club, too. CD will be a captain before he leaves here.
Well, you're talking about Mike. Most also didn't have 17 brothers and sisters. You've got to know how to deal with. I mean, that's 17 different personalities.
That's right.
And he has a unique ability. He walks into any room in America, and he is one of the 3 owners of that room at any given point.
That's right.
And so are you. And so is Dez. That's the way it is. I mean, there's a personality that goes with it.
Proud of Mike, man, for his life after football, what he's doing. I mean, he's really good on TV. You know? He's really good and doing a great job and just representing the 88s because every time they see him on TV, they're thinking about the 88 club.
Got a couple minutes left before we get out of here. What are you up to these days as a Pro Football Hall of Famer, ambassador to the game of football? What is Drew Pearson doing these days?
Nothing.
I feel that. I hear that.
Waking up, doing just what I want to do, being just what I want to be. But, you know, still getting opportunities for personal appearances and things like that. And a lot of it came through once you get in the Hall of Fame. These opportunities come more plentiful. Right. And you get more meaningful as well. Right. You know, I was able to do some things to promote the vaccine for, you know, our race, people of color and stuff like that. The Hall of Fame was very much behind that. I've had opportunities to speak to school kids as a Hall of Famer with the Heroes of the Game thing that they got going on. So it's been a great ride. All I know is, why didn't it happen sooner? Gee. Man, come on, man.
Look, they say
this is all good, though.
Yes.
It's been all good. God knows at the right time.
Yes,
and
he does.
He hit me at the right time with this. The best thing he's blessed me with is good health.
Yes.
I can still run an out and up right now.
Okay.
It might take a while.
You got one.
One time.
You got that one good route left in you. Hey,
one good left.
That's all it takes to take it to the house. Well, we appreciate you stopping down with us on this Wednesday evening. It's always great to have our Cowboys legends, but especially one that's a Pro Football Hall of Famer. Well overdue time, but you got in at the right time when you needed to be in there.
Amen.
And now you get to represent the game of football the way that it's supposed to be represented. So we appreciate you stopping down with us, hanging out with us on this Wednesday night here on Cowboys Crosstalk. The Cowboys are off this week, so they get to chill just like us. We're going to enjoy some Week 9 football, none of which I'm going to enjoy tomorrow because it's the Philadelphia Eagles and the Houston Texans, so I'm not going to watch necessarily any of that. You going to take that in tomorrow?
I'll watch the World Series tomorrow night.
Okay, all right. You'll take it in the World Series. All right,
Go
no
Yankees.
Problem. Nate, you going to take it in the football?
Because,
what year is this?
You know, I hate the Eagles, but I love Fletcher Cox.
Okay. No harm, no foul. All right. And, and Drew said he's not going to do anything. He's going to chill.
Yeah, I'm going to chill. I'll be going to high school football games and college football games, chasing my grandson.
Well, there you go.
Amen.
Well, again, we appreciate our Cowboys legend, Pro Football Hall of Famer Drew Pearson for joining us live at the Cowboys Club here at the Star in Frisco. For Drew Pearson, the 3-time Super Bowl champion, Nate Newton. Nate, always good to see you, man. My man, RJ Choppy, good to see you, Chop, man.
Good to see you.
My name is Kevin Gray. This has been Cowboys Crosstalk live at the Dallas Cowboys Club at the Star in Frisco on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network. Y'all be good.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!